The 2026 Wealth Gap. Stop what you are doing. Look at your calendar. If you are watching this, you are likely operating with a 2020 mindset in a 2026 world. And that is exactly why your bank account looks the same as it did 3 years ago. We are seeing a massive divergence. The middle class is shrinking, not because they are moving up, but because the old rules of saving and grinding simply do not apply to the new economy. Today, we are breaking the middle-class ceiling by dissecting the specific, non-negotiable routines of self-made millionaires who are thriving right now. We aren't talking about wake up at 4 a.m. or drink more water. We are talking about the 4 specific habits that the top 1% have adopted to leverage AI, the gig economy, and the new digital landscape. We are going to do the real math. I'm going to show you exactly how a $50,000 salary turns into a $500,000 net worth. But first, you have to understand why the old advice failed. The latte factor told you to cut back on small joys to save money. That advice is obsolete. In 2026, you cannot save your way to wealth. You have to leverage your way there. The cost of living has outpaced wages, but the opportunity for scale has outpaced the cost of living. The millionaires of today aren't working harder than you, they are using systems that work for them while they sleep. Let's dive into the first habit. This is the most controversial shift in productivity we have seen in a decade. I call this the output over input protocol. The old millionaire habit was the 5 a.m. club, waking up early to grind, to hustle, to do more. In 2026, the new millionaires aren't grinding harder, they are leveraging smarter. They have realized that human energy is a finite resource, but digital leverage is infinite. Here is the breakdown of the 2026 Millionaire Morning, step by step. Step 1. The zero input hour. Most of you wake up, grab your phone, and start consuming. You check emails, Instagram, news notifications. You are starting your day in reaction mode. You are letting the world dictate your mental state before you have even brushed your teeth. The 2026 millionaire wakes up and consumes absolutely nothing for the first hour. No phone, no screens. For that first hour, they are purely in creation mode. They might journal, they might meditate, or they might plan their attack. But they are not absorbing other people's agendas. This reclaims your cognitive peak. When you start the day by reacting, you spend the rest of the day catching up. When you start the day by creating, you set the pace for everyone else. Step 2 is the new differentiator, the AI huddle. By 2026, AI isn't just a chatbot, it's a suite of autonomous agents. The millionaire spends 15 minutes briefing their digital workforce. They say, here are my top 3 priorities today. Draft the outline for Project A. Research the market data for Investment B. Organize my calendar. They are not doing the work yet. They are managing the machines that do the work. This is the shift from employee to commander. Let's look at the math on this because this is where it gets real. The average office worker spends about 4 hours a day on shallow work, emails, scheduling, formatting documents, sitting in Zoom meetings that could have been emails. That is 20 hours a week lost to low-value tasks. A millionaire utilizing AI agents reduces that shallow work to roughly 1 hour a day. That is a savings of 15 hours per week. Even if you value your time at a modest $100 an hour, that is $1,500 a week saved in reclaimed productivity. That is $78,000 a year in value that you are currently throwing away by doing tasks a machine can do for pennies. Step 3 is the deep work block. Now, instead of working 8 hours of distracted noise, the millionaire works 2 hours of pure, high-value strategy. They are making the decisions that move the needle 10x. Action step for you: tomorrow morning, do not touch your phone for the first hour. Open a notebook instead. Write down the one thing that will make the most money or impact today. Do that first. Delegate the rest. If you don't have an AI agent yet, you are already behind. Moving on to habit number 2. This is about how you handle your money. You have likely heard of the 50-30-20 rule: 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings. Stop it. In an economy with the volatility we are seeing in 2026, that old rule keeps you poor. It is designed for survival, not wealth. Self-made millionaires in 2026 operate on the 60-40 asymmetric rule. Here is how it works. It requires a mindset shift from spender to investor. Step 1 is the 40% freedom tax. The moment money hits your account, whether it's a paycheck, a freelance check, or a birthday gift, you pay a tax. Not to the government, to yourself. 40% of every dollar is immediately moved into an investment vehicle: stocks, high-yield savings, crypto, or real estate. This money is gone. You pretend it doesn't exist. You force yourself to live on the remaining 60%. Now you might be thinking, I can't live on 60%. You can, you just have to stop buying things to impress people you don't like. The math on this is undeniable. Let's look at a standard income of $6,000 a month. The standard saver saves 10%, which is $600. If they invest that at an 8% average return, after 10 years they have roughly $110,000. Not bad, but look at the 60-40 millionaire. They invest 40%, which is $2,400. Same 8% return. After 10 years, they are sitting on roughly $440,000. That is a difference of over $300,000 simply by adjusting the percentage. But let's add the asymmetric part. Millionaires don't just invest safely, they take a portion of that 40% and put it into high-risk, high-reward vehicles. If one of those bets 10x's, the math changes entirely. Habit number 3 is about what you know. In 2026, university degrees are depreciating assets. Skills are appreciating assets. The millionaire habit here is the 5-hour rule, popularized by Benjamin Franklin, used by Bill Gates and Oprah, but updated for the AI age. You must dedicate 5 hours a week strictly to learning. But here is the key. You must identify the high-leverage skill. In 2026, coding isn't enough. Writing isn't enough. You need to stack skills. A copywriter makes $50. A copywriter who understands AI prompting makes $100. A copywriter who understands AI prompting and sales psychology makes $250K. This is called skill stacking. You don't need to be the best in the world at one thing. You need to be in the top 25% at 2 or 3 different things that work together. That intersection is where the money is. Let's do the math on skills. Say you spend 5 hours a week learning a new software or sales technique. That's 260 hours a year. According to the 10,000-hour rule, it takes 10K hours to master something. But you don't need mastery, you need competency. 260 hours is enough to get into the top 10% of a specific niche skill. Top 10% earners in any field usually command a salary premium of 20 to 50% over the median. That is an astronomical return on investment for just reading and practicing a few hours a week. Habit number 4. The final habit is the one people ignore the most. It's the who, not the how. In 2026, your net worth is directly correlated to your network value. Most people have a network of comfort, friends they party with, co-workers who complain about the boss. Millionaires perform a network audit quarterly. There is a famous saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your circle is complaining about gas prices, you are likely stressed about gas prices. If your circle is discussing real estate deals and stock options, your mindset shifts. The habit here is intentional curation. Millionaires spend 1 hour a week warming up cold connections. They don't ask for favors. They offer value. They might send an article or a lead. This builds social capital. The math here is simple. One referral from a high-level connection can lead to a contract worth $20,000 or more. Luck is a metric calculated by the number of high-quality interactions you have. So, what is the takeaway? We've covered the AI leverage morning, the 60-40 asymmetric budget, skill stacking, and the network audit. You might be feeling overwhelmed. That's normal. But you don't need to change everything today. You just need to start. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is bridged by consistent, boring habits executed over time. Here is the challenge for the next 30 days. Week 1. Implement the no phone for the first hour rule. Week 2. Automate a savings transfer. Start with 20% if 40% is too hard. Week 3. Buy one book or course on a high-income skill. Week 4. Reach out to 3 people who are doing better than you and offer them value. If you do this, you will end 2026 in a completely different tax bracket. The future belongs to those who build it. It belongs to those who adapt. Don't let 2026 catch you sleeping. Start the AI huddle. Tax yourself. Stack your skills. And build a network that pulls you up. The math is on your side if you follow the formula. Go build yours.